Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I have been following the latest fallout between Azimio and Jubilee. It was perceived as a friendly fire, but I narrowed down on Sabina Chege. When Sabina Chege came out publicly to castigate the shell of the Jubilee party remaining for sending mixed signals, or rather mixed positions, as far as the PSC and the IALA nomination positions were concerned. And I think what we were treated to is a situation where Azimio power sharing deal was mutilated in the floor of the House. No one really thought about it. But then today, Enoch Wambua, the Kitui senator, is revealing a night meeting that was convened by Raila, Uhuru, and Kalonzo Musyoka. Before we get into that meeting, I have noticed a very significant absence of former President Uhuru Kenyatta in Azimio politics, and I take that very positive because I think I was one of the analysts that was holding the position that Uhuru Kenyatta should not really interfere, or rather dent his legacy by active involve in himself in active Azimio politics, because for now he's actually supposed to play an advisory role. And we've seen the man who was touted to be heading to Icheweri really rolling in Africa as a statesman. So that, of course, is the nature of things. And this meeting that was convened in Raila Odinga's office in Nairobi was looking at what exactly, or the best way to solve the Azimio stalemate that is going on. Kitui senator is saying that Uhuru Kenyatta was represented in the meeting by SG Jeremiah Kioni, a man that I think is on a specific mission and just using the last bits of remaining Jubilee Party to get something to hang on a bit. Kalonzo Musyoka virtually, Bledama Olekina, Fatuma Dulo, the Senate, also Sifuna, and the other representatives of the other parties. So the center of the bone of contention is a disquiet about the cancellation of Fatuma Dulo's nomination to the Parliamentary Service Commission. Last minute, ODM forwarded the names of Mishimboko, Omogeni, and I think Patrick Macau, who was a Wiper candidate. So Omogeni replaced Fatuma Dulo last minute, and ODM was actually slammed for shortchanging the other parties. But it so came out in the words of Sabina Chege that the party sent different names to the speaker, or rather to the minority leader, Alpia Wandai, for consideration on that position. And so it did not come out clearly. So what is at stake here is PSC and EALA. Raila Odinga must solve the EALA equation because daughter Winnie Odinga is eyeing a position there, also with the son of Kalonzo Musyoka, Kennedy Musyoka. And so this, if this was not going to be, if this is not addressed, then someone is really going to suffer in the floor of the House. I want to rise above that in-house politics of Azimio. I don't think it holds any substance as we talk now. I was just asking a friend, what is the essence of Azimio as we talk now? What's their role? And so, this is my position. There are three things that Azimio la Umoja must do. I wish you listen to these three things. Kindly subscribe to our channel. click the notification bell, and also like our video. When you like our video, you are promoting this channel and you boost our revenue stream. Asanteni sana. Thank you guys. Thank you, Karo. I received your tea. Yes, received your tea. Asante sana. And I'm also requesting, by the way, as Bold, I'm trying to reach out for exclusive interviews. So experts in financial, in economics, experts in matters governance, and we want to inform the people. We said here that the Bold podcast will actually remain as the most informative political podcast, alternative voice from the mainstream. So we are still reaching out. You can reach out to me. My number is there, 0710 62 78 89, and we can book an exclusive interview on the same. Now, Azimio la Umoja must and should craft public, appealing, unifying course. I've used many objectives. I only mean one sentence. They need to get something to do that can keep them together, if they still need to be together. Between 2013 to 2017, you remember, there was a very long push by Raila Odinga. They were pushing for dialogue, I remember. And the dialogue was on the election reforms in there. It never happened. Then when that dialogue was not, people never saw the significance of that dialogue. Then they decided now to push the electoral reforms. They needed to go to the streets, and that's how they initiated the ouster of Isaac Hassan from the poll body. So now they must get something, because what's happening here is the leaders there is lack of focus. There is lack of, I saw, is it Shamala saying that he went to State House, and of course the photo was shared, Shamala, with our Shirley and some other MP from Western. They are saying, yes, we are friends with William Ruto, we are friends with Raila Odinga, but we work with William Ruto, which I totally support. You need to support and the national government has the bigger cake. So the more you're close to the national government, the better. People are disintegrating, and they will scatter, and when they scatter, they will come back. They will start now regathering after maybe some time to find out whether they can seek elective positions. But if you remain with some loyalists, so there's some team around you, you can formulate a team. Raila and the team should offer safeguards on Ruto. Right? We must erect some safeguards, because the interest of the Kenyan people, or rather, we have a representative democracy where our leaders represent us. That representation is not only exercised by those who are on the side of the government. It is now true that they are on the other side of the game. They are on the other side of the opposition. I want to tell you where William Ruto read, we must have some safeguards. I analyzed on my videos that it will be a disservice to the people of Kenya if we don't check William Ruto's government. Remember, in next year, we are going to have constituency reviews, boundaries, delimitation. So is it review of the boundaries? That review of boundaries, there are counties that are going to suffer, because review doesn't mean even adding. There are others that are merged. Then others are split. That is going to be a very big conversation in this country. I have seen reports of Migori, Kuria, a county known Kuria, being hived from the larger Migori, and Teso being hived from Busia. We've had these conversations. So, because of political positioning and neutralizing and reducing size areas that are perceived as political bedrocks for politicians, we might get ourselves, and the people of Kenya will miss a lot if we don't have safeguards. Position of IBC chair and electoral reforms are still here with us. Very unfortunate comments I've been reading in my previous video, I mentioned about what our electoral reforms that we need to do, what US is doing that we were not doing. And I really saw a rallying call that people don't want to vote. But then I'll try to look at that in our next video. That me, I'm done with voting, I'll not vote again. That notion is there. And I know even me at one point, we felt like, oh no, this electoral injustice is not fair enough. But don't you know that even if you fail to vote, you voted for the other person. The minority will have their way. The majority will keep their votes, and you won't have, you say. So we should exercise that right. We have Chair IBC. We have other scandals that are emerging that we must voice. Craft timely long-term route to succession roadmap. The most complicated thing for Azimio la Umoja is route to succession. Because you don't know whether you plan for 2027 or you plan for 2032. I want to answer. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua. Raila Odinga may not go to the ballot again. I'm sorry, I may be wrong. For you to work well on route to succession, plot for 2027. We have a democracy that is maturing. Trump served one term. So it is not illegal for you to rather to also try to seize power from William Ruto. It is not illegal. And of course, for our democracy to mature, we need to agree that there is nowhere written that everyone must serve 10 years. Yes, you can serve 5 and leave the other person, then come back. It's always possible. So those who are crafting should craft succession for 2027, because I believe that with a tight succession race, government will be pushed to deliver to the people. Lakini kama mtu haoni competition, doesn't see any competition, doesn't care. But with a tight succession race being crafted, you craft a tight succession race, you'll push the government to deliver to the people. The people that will benefit are the Kenyan people. The voters will benefit when we have a tight succession race. That's my bold. Thank you, guys. This suit was made by Raphael Ogia. I'll share the number if you also want suit. He can make one for you so that we also promote the hassles with them.